Hey, Snoopy, wake up! It's time to brush our teeth.
The 1970s were the golden age of gadgets that made absolutely no sense, yet somehow felt like the future arriving straight into our shag-carpeted living rooms. If it plugged in, buzzed, blinked, or promised to revolutionize your daily routine, we bought it. Even when they smoked, sparked, or nearly scrambled our eyebrows off. So let's dig into the wonderfully strange world of 1970s high-tech and revisit 10 bizarre gadgets we were absolutely convinced were the future. Number 1. The Clairol Mist Stick.
Hey, look at Crazy Curl. Clairol have made it 5 inches shorter.
It's easier to use, steam heat, so gentle on your hair.
A curling iron that steamed your hair like a pot of vegetables, the Clairol Mist Stick was every bit as terrifying as it sounds. It hissed, sputtered, and filled the bathroom with a warm, slightly burnt salon fog. You'd clamp it onto a chunk of hair and pray it didn't leave behind a sizzling line of crimped damage. But in the 70s, a gadget that combined electricity and water, that was cutting-edge beauty technology. And honestly, if you walked out of the house with curls instead of frizz, it felt like a miracle. Number 2. Ronco Inside the Egg Scrambler.
Do you scramble eggs like this? You never get a perfectly blended egg, and then there's the cleanup. But now there's the egg scrambler. It scrambles an egg while it's still in the shell. The egg scrambler perfectly blends the egg white and yolk in only 5 seconds.
The 70s were obsessed with solving problems that didn't exist, like scrambling an egg inside the shell. The Ronco Inside the Egg Scrambler required you to stab the egg with a needle device, spin it like a carnival ride, and hope it didn't explode. The ads made it look scientific, futuristic, revolutionary. But in reality, it turned breakfast into a small engineering project with a 50-50 chance of disaster. And yet, we loved it, because it felt like something a space station chef would use. Number 3. The AM/FM Shower Radio. Nothing felt more high-tech than hanging a bulky plastic radio in the shower so you could bathe to the sound of static and slightly damp top 40 hits. The volume knob always corroded, the antenna rusted, and the whole thing took on a faint soap scum meets transistor wiring smell. But stepping into the shower with music, that felt like pure Jetsons-level luxury. And when the radio crackled through smoke on the water while you shampooed, peak 70s magic. Number 4. Electric Hot Dogger.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When you bite into an Oscar Mayer hot dog, what do you taste?
Hot diggity!
Hot diggity, dog diggity, what you do to me.
Just when you thought kitchen gadgets couldn't get weirder, the 70s produced the electric hot dogger, the device that cooked hot dogs using electric current. You literally impaled the hot dog on metal spikes and sent a shock through it until it sizzled. It was fast, it was horrifying, it was definitely a fire hazard, but it was a gadget, and it lived on the counter like a badge of futuristic pride. We really trusted technology back then, didn't we? Number 5. Ronco Glass Froster.
To a beer drinker, there's nothing like a cold beer served in a frosted glass. And now you can frost glasses at home instantly. Introducing the Ronco Glass Froster. It frosts all kinds of glasses. Just press the lever and frost glasses for mixed drinks.
In the 70s, frosted glasses weren't just a bar thing, they were a home technology breakthrough. The Ronco Glass Froster blasted your glass with cold air and sometimes a little frostbite so you could serve soda like a lounge bartender. It was loud, it vibrated, and it produced maybe 3 usable frosted glasses before throwing a tantrum. But we didn't care. Anything that added instant excitement to any beverage was a must-have. All right, before we wrap up this tour of slightly dangerous, definitely overhyped 70s gadgets, let me hit you with the one button that won't spark, sizzle, or overheat, the subscribe button. If you've watched more of my videos than the number of times your mom warned you not to electrocute yourself with a bathroom radio, it might be time to click it. And hey, if you're on Facebook, come join the nostalgia party over there too. We've got memories, mayhem, and at least 3 people still arguing about whether the electric hot dogger was genius or a lawsuit waiting to happen. Your tribe is waiting. Number 6. The Toot-a-Loop Radio. Shaped like a bright plastic donut from outer space, the Tootaloop radio was the most 1970s thing ever made. You twisted it open to tune it, held it like a bracelet, and looked incredibly cool while pretending the sound wasn't terrible. The audio quality was basically AM station buried under a gravel truck. But the design, oh, it felt futuristic, like something you'd use to call your fellow space explorers. Number 7. Mood lamps.
When Barbara and I want to feel peaceful and serene, we turn on our wave.
And when we feel lighthearted and sparkling, we turn on our gem light.
And when we feel turned on to each other,
we turn on our lava light.
Mood lamps were one of those magical 70s items that felt high-tech, even though half of them were just colored bulbs inside oddly shaped plastic shells. Whether it was a fiber optic lamp slowly fanning out its shimmering strands, a faux lava cylinder that never quite bubbled right, or a color-cycling psychedelic orb, every version promised to transform your living room into the bridge of a starship, or at least the chill-out room of a planetarium. Families adored these things because the 70s had a deep fascination with anything that glowed, pulsed, or made you feel like you were living in a softer, groovier future. These lamps weren't just decor, they were mood setters, conversation pieces, and, if we're honest, the unofficial replacement for overhead lighting in half of America's dens. You'd flip one on, and instantly the room felt warmer, weirder, and more futuristic. Like the kind of future where people wore velour jumpsuits and talked to their appliances. Whether it sat on a nightstand, a stereo cabinet, or the top of that giant console TV, the glow of a 70s mood lamp is a sight and a vibe we'll never forget. Number 8. Plug-in electric scalp massager. This device looked like a small alien helmet and vibrated on your skull like it was trying to read your thoughts. People plugged them in, leaned back, and declared the vibrating sensation incredibly modern. In reality, it rattled your fillings, left your hair staticky, and made you look like a test subject in a NASA experiment. But to 70s households, this was futuristic self-care, relaxation by electromechanical head shaking. Number 9. Water pick.
Keep on smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Famous smiles depend on the Waterpick appliance.
The Waterpick felt like dental technology straight out of the future. A little box that blasted a high-pressure stream of water powerful enough to clean your teeth or accidentally pressure wash your tonsils. It took up more counter space than a blender and sounded like an airplane engine starting up. But if you used the Waterpick, you instantly felt like someone who understood advanced hygiene, even if you accidentally soaked the mirror every time. And speaking of blasts from the past, let's check out a few of your comments from the last video. Seriously, these comments make my whole day. I want to feature even more of your memories next time. So drop your favorite bizarre 70s gadgets down below. Whether it buzzed, blinked, shocked you, or nearly set the house on fire, your story might pop up right here in the next video. Number 10. Snoopy toothbrush timer.
Hey, Snoopy, wake up. It's time to brush our teeth.
Good grief, it's time to brush your teeth with your Snoopy toothbrush. Brushing right makes you smile bright with your Snoopy toothbrush.
Only in the 1970s would a mechanical Snoopy figure be considered breakthrough dental innovation. You'd wind it up, set the timer, and Snoopy would cheerfully tick away the seconds while kids brushed.
Snoopy brush your teeth. When you get up in the morning. A really nice touch.
Brush your toothbrush.
Start your day with Snoopy brush your toothbrush. Batteries not included. Snoopy brush your toothbrush. Just before you go to bed. A really nice touch.
Brush your toothbrush.
And a fun day.
Look what a good brusher Snoopy is.
Most kids ignored it. Some kids raced it, and the rest used it as a toy more than a dental tool. Still, having a gadget built around brushing your teeth? That felt like the future. And Snoopy made every bathroom feel just a little more high-tech. And that wraps up our tour through the wonderfully weird world of 1970s future tech, a time when every home experiment came with a plug, a hum, and at least a little danger. These gadgets may have been clunky, overhyped and sometimes downright hazardous, but they were ours. They made us feel like we were living in a brand new age, even if all we really had was a vibrating head massager and a radio shaped like a donut. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I'll see you in the next one, where we dig up even more forgotten treasures from one of the wildest decades ever.